Okay, really quick. I know a lot of people probably already know this, but in the LFG, someone asked about converting the currency. Whenever a new DLC pushes an old DLC back, that currency turns into source marks. Whenever there's a new DLC, it pushes out the old DLC. So before Hope Burns Bright, the three latest DLC were here in this menu: Cosnia, Mogo, and Mournful Mogo. But since Frozen Mogo is here now, it pushed out Cosnia because Cosnia is older than all of these DLC. So what you want to do to convert Cosnia's currency into source marks is come to this vendor, and right at the top it should show you how many Cosnia currency you have. It will automatically be there for you to convert the Cosnia currency into source marks. Now, that applies to every DLC, right? So if you go into the DLC previously before Cosnia, it's the same thing. So you would go into the vendor and the currency should be at the top where you have to convert it into source marks. The best way that I could tell you to do this, because if you have currency, right, you might not even know um, what DLC that currency is from. Like if you have time beacons, right? So you don't really know where time beacons are from. It's like, what currency is this for? Or what currency is this for? The best thing for you to do, right? In order for you to see if you have any extra currency that can be converted into source marks is to go to the watchtower. Now, I'm not familiar with the House of Legends. The House of Legends is new for me because I'm old school. I'm used to the Watchtower. So the best way that I can tell you how to go about going into these vendors to see if you have some source marks available is to just go to the Watchtower. This is just the most simplest way that I've ever seen it. When you get into the Watchtower, you want to fly directly over, and then you see all of those teleporters. All of these teleporters are past DLC. Wonderverse, look, Patchwork, The Mascara, Chaos, Gotham, Atlantis, E3, 31st Century, Flashpoint. And then when you fly over this way, you have a few more portals. Um, Birds of Prey, Titan, Metal Gotham, and Thanagar. Now, if you have any currency left over from any of these old DLC, you want to come to these vendors outside. You don't have to go into the portal because all of these vendors that go with the portals, like they're already outside. So you just come here, go into the vendor, and whatever currency is set with that DLC, it's going to be in this vendor. The only vendor that I feel like won't let you convert the currency for some reason is 31st Century. Because when I come here, it's telling me that I can buy a case of time beacons for 100 source marks. Don't do that. Ask me how I know. Okay? So for some reason these time beacons won't convert into source marks. It's the other way around. So if I want a case of time beacons, I'll have to pay 100 source marks. So you don't want to do that. If you come in here thinking that this is going to convert, it's not. It's just going to give you a case of time beacons. So be careful with that. But any other vendor you come into, it should have, and I already did this. That's why it's not showing up for me because I already converted all of my currency. But this is the easiest way to figure out if you have any currency left over that you can convert, because it no longer applies because the DLC is so old. Some of these vendors aren't up to date, so there is no currency. But yeah, this is just an easy way for you to come into the watchtower. Everything is all together right here, so you don't have to go back and forth into the portals and into the open world and finding the vendor and doing all of that. Just come into the watchtower and go into each vendor. And if you have any extra currency, it'll automatically pop up at the top of buy items, and it's going to ask you like, do you want to convert this currency into source marks? Yeah.